Welcome back for another video. It's time for the Gameweek 5 episode of The Experts. The Experts is a huge community project of hundreds of FPL experts providing top insight every game week. Every week we reveal the Experts team before the deadline and look at their transfer plans, captaincy, chip usage and more. The wisdom of the crowd approach will guide you to better decisions and a better rank, plus win your mini leagues. If you'd like to follow this series throughout the season, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Before we get started, this video has been sponsored by fpltips.com. They send you a free FPL newsletter that gives you a quick, funny summary of everything you need to know before each game week deadline. I'm subscribed myself and it really is everything. You could be totally out of the loop, but reading one of these emails will get you up to speed on all the important stuff. Stuff like key stats, the transfer trends, injury news and tips from fantasy experts. Signing up's really easy and it's totally free. All you need is an email address. I've been a subscriber for a while now and it's been a game changer. If you want to level the playing field with me and over 10,000 managers who also get these emails, just click the link at the top of the description. Thanks again to FPL Tips. So we have a new top expert after Gameweek 4, which is Sergster, currently ranked 2.3k overall after a huge 90 pointer last game week. He could be on course for another top season after finishing 2.7k last season. We'll continue to keep tabs on the top ranked expert each game week. Next up, the transfer activity among the experts. 37% are rolling the transfer this game week, taking 2 into game week 6. A few managers are in such a good position that they're actually burning the transfer with nowhere to spend it. Arguably, FPL messed up with player pricing, with so many managers sat with a perfect team and able to burn transfers just a few game weeks into the season, but that's a debate for another day. 37% are making 1 transfer, and a quarter of the managers are making 2 transfers, 1% making 3 transfers. No chips active this game week. As far as which players our experts are transferring in and out, Rodrigo and Gross are the most popular players being picked up. Rodrigo on 37 and Gross on 35 points are the 2 top scoring mids in the game for only 6.5 mil and 5.8 mil. No player has risen more than Rodrigo's 0.5 mil this season. Luis Diaz isn't far behind and it appears he is the best third Liverpool asset after 4 game weeks of data, or second depending on your views on Salah. Before Game Week 1 there was a big divide between Robertson and Diaz, but it's certainly the latter who has delivered so far after a brace against Bournemouth. Sanchez and Dunk have also been phenomenal value, 3 clean sheets and just 1 goal conceded. Saliba's just had his second price rise, but 4.7 mil for a route into Arsenal's defence is still great value. Arsenal's second after Man City for expected goals conceded over the opening 4 game weeks. Interestingly, we see a few managers have made the Haaland to Kane swap this game week. It's a bold strategy off the back of Haaland's hat-trick. Their thinking is that he's perhaps benched for the Forest game, and Kane's a very capable replacement with a couple of great fixtures ahead. It's a huge swing move if it comes off, but it is a big risk. Fofana makes the list, who signed for Chelsea in only 4.4 mil. It's unclear when he'll make his debut, but no doubt he'll be great value once he's starting games. Robertson's the second most sold player. Perhaps Tsimikas even gets a game at some point in the coming weeks. He delivered with a clean sheet and an assist last game week, so perhaps harsh for him to be top. Somewhat ruthlessly, Kulusevski is the joint most sold of Robertson, and he chipped him with an assist, and he faces West Ham next, then Fulham. A quick look at the chip usage next, and then we'll look at the captaincy and the expert team. A quiet game week for the chips, none active this game week. 91% have their wildcard left. Many experts are in a position where their team's in great shape and it's unclear when to even use the wildcard. The international break between Game Week 8 and Game Week 9 is a popular time to activate it. However, it certainly shouldn't be used just for the sake of it if your team's in good shape already. When wildcards are active, we always try to get an expert wildcard draft included in the video for us. On to the expert captaincy, and it's the most divided game week of the season so far. Salah's top with 43%, but Haaland's second with 37.5%. It was comfortably the most frustrating game week of the season for Salah captainers in the Bournemouth game, nothing from 9 goals. That said, he still put up good numbers and took up good areas. On another day he walks away with a couple of returns, so he's not inherently a bad pick suddenly. In fact, he's still the favourite among the experts. Man City at home to Nottingham Forest is one of the fixtures of the season, however, and a very comfortable City win to be expected, and Haaland comes straight off the back of a hat-trick against a tougher opposition. There is fair speculation that Haaland could be benched for one of the next 2 games, with the Champions League starting up next week. It's impossible to call unless we get something from the presses or perhaps a leak. Jesus is third with just under 7%, followed by De Bruyne, Kane and Gundogan. Gundogan was benched for the Palace game, and you'd expect he's in line for a start next match, so he's a great asset to consider and somewhat overlooked. On to the expert team selection. This is the aggregated team of their highest owned players within budget. The team is as follows. It's a solid 4-4-2 and the template's still extremely strong. We may see Rodrigo or perhaps Gross sneak in if they have a good Gameweek 5. Perisic got his start against Nottingham Forest and came off after 73 minutes. Tough to call whether he gets the nod for the West Ham game or Sessegnon gets to run him. FPL did roll out an update over the weekend which affected the tracking tool. So while this is being repaired for Gameweek 6, we've got last Gameweek's expert ownership on the left hand side. The overall percentages have however been updated. Robertson, Kulusevski, De Silva and Cancelo were the most sold assets, so we can therefore expect a drop in ownership. Salah marginally the most popular captain and Haaland vice captain. I'll read every comment, so let me know in the comments which way you're leaning with the captaincy. As always, each game week we ask the experts to offer their insight for the game week ahead. FPL Planner says, we were all shocked when Salah blanked in the game where Liverpool put 9 past Bournemouth. What happens on the pitch can be unpredictable and is beyond our control. It's important not to let unfavourable outcomes distract you from making sensible decisions, which will pay off over the long run. Andrew Debenham says fixtures are beginning to slightly increase in difficulty for the big teams. Ahead of midweek games and increased rotation, I'll be looking to try and transfer in some of the best players from teams not involved in European competition. Eze Dunk and Ariba are players on my radar. Benjamin Age says rotations are going to happen, stay patient with your solid and or good players. Holly Shan says midweek games produce a high number of goals but often lots of rotation too. Avoid transferring those who are prone to substitutions. Big for FPL says, do not give up on the City defence just yet. Despite conceding again, they only conceded 0.11 XG and they still have 2 clean sheets and 4. The only worry is Cancelo based on his current expected goal involvement, but if there's no urgent matters, he's still a hold based on the nailedness. FPL Marcin says, I really like the punt on Gundogan this week, one of City's best players this season, rested on the weekend and still had a great impact off the bench. Likely to start midweek and proved in the past and this season how attacking he can be. And lastly, Dan Cross says, Pep Roulette's going to dominate this game week. At the time of writing, I think I'm going to be too tempted to go against it. Big Erling to start and Hall. That concludes episode 5 of The Experts. These always take a lot of time to pull together, so if you found it useful, please like the video and subscribe for more weekly content to come all season. Thanks as always to The Experts for their participation. See you soon for the next one.